In this second episode dedicated to how to speed up the use of Twinmotion, I talk about artificial lights, and in case you missed the first one, I leave you the link in the description. Before even using artificial lights, it is essential that your project have 3D models of lamps, on which you will insert light sources. As for the objects of a project, unless you have specific technical requirements, you can insert 3D models of lamps directly into Twinmotion. To solve the problem of the lack of ceiling lamps in Twinmotion library, you can use the ones inside my user library, already all characterized and ready to be used. I leave you the link to this video in the description. If on the other hand you would like to expand your library more, you will have to download 3D models of lamps from the web. Of course, the reference website is always a ZIL project. Also of these I'll leave you the link in the description. But be careful, because once you have imported the 3D models into Twinmotion, I recommend both to save them in your user library, obviously only after assigning them emissive materials at the surfaces that will be illuminated, and also to orient the pivot correctly, so that it will be positioned correctly in future uses. To speed up the process even more, before saving the 3D model of the ceiling lamp, or in this case the spotlight, in your user library, place an artificial light at where it will be emit light and group it together. From now on, every time you insert the spotlight in your next project, you will also have the respective light source, which, by duplicating it as instances, will allow you to manage all the artificial lights just in one click. I'd like to take just 20 seconds, I promise, to inform you that I'm creating the Twinmotion Masterclass learning portal, where I will guide you through the fantastic world of Twinmotion, whether you're a beginner or an expert. Click on the link in the description of this video to stay updated on all the news and secure an exclusive discount at launch. Register now using your email. Thank you so much for the support and enjoy the video. Each environment, however, has different light settings needs. So I recommend that you create groups of instances grouped according to the area. Now each environment has its own light sources, all of which can be managed through containers and instances. Before moving on, in case you were dealing with an interior project, it can be very convenient to add area lights outside all the windows surrounding the project, so as to illuminate the rooms when needed. The size of the area lights should be smaller than the size of the reference windows, and usually should be placed in the immediate vicinity of the window frame, just outside. Again, this is not an advice for speeding up the workflow with Twinmotion, rather a method for not wasting time later, in case a rendering lacks light that cannot be managed any other way than with area lights outside the windows. For both the area lights and all the artificial lights you will place, I recommend that you do not change any parameters, especially that of light intensity, as it is handled according to the environment settings of the renderings you will create at the end of the process. I will explore this specific issue in the next video. The last piece of advice I will give you is about view sets, which in my opinion are fantastic. Always create a view set with the container of lights hidden and one with the container active. This will be very useful for you during the media creation phase to correctly set the artificial light source, which I will analyze in the next episode. If in addition you could also use the path tracer engine, I recommend that you create an additional view set in which you will insert the copy of the container containing all the lights you just created. Be careful, duplicate it as an instance, but then for each grouping of lights, create a new group of instances. Otherwise, by modifying these, you will also modify the first ones. Now, rename the containers to identify them and assign each view set its respective group. The first one will have the containers of lights off. The one for the standard or lumen engine will have only the container of lights for lumen active, and the one for the path tracer engine will have only the container of lights for path tracer active. In the next final video of this series, I will talk about how to speed up the media creation and management flow, and finally make a sense of the light settings of all the artificial lights placed so far. So, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss it, and feel free to write a comment indicating which topic you would like me to cover in future videos. That said, again, Thank you so very much for supporting me, and see you very soon. Ciao!